things are hotting up again for Britain. There is already a heat health alert in place. And look at this. The Met Office has announced an amber warning for extreme heat for most of England and Wales. That runs from tomorrow all the way through to Sunday. On top of that, we keep hearing the word drought, don't we? Well, here's another map now, which shows the river flows around the UK. You can see a lot of red dots. They mean that a river flow is exceptionally low for this time of year. Well, Toby Sadler has also been finding out that it's not just us feeling the effects, but our wildlife too. He joins me now from Marlow in Buckinghamshire. Hi, Toby. Looks pretty hot there today. What have you been up to?
It's a bit toasty, yeah. We've been talking to the National Trust today, who you'll know are like one of the biggest landowners in the UK. And as a result of that, they're responsible for all the animals and plants on their properties. You can see some of them aren't doing that well. Now, we know how we're going to feel over the next few days with temperatures into the kind of mid, maybe even high 30s. It's no different for the wildlife. And some of those National Trust sites haven't had significant rain since March. And so the situation is critical. This is not just one hot summer. The National Trust is warning its impact will be felt long after 2022. Right now, the charity is deciding what lives and what dies. There's not enough water to save all these plants in Osterley in West London.
This is one of our rarest shrubs that we planted in the American border. This is Stewartia malacodendron. And most times in a drought, trees have got a mechanism. They'll drop their leaves, which is good, and then they'll pick up again next year. But after that 40-degree heat the other day, most of the leaves on this shrub have now gone brown and crispy and are falling off. And that really is worrying because it means the plant is under real stress.
The greatest risk is from fire. This site in Norfolk, just one of many destroyed this summer. The National Trust owns around 1% of all the land in the UK. That's just under 1,000 square miles. This site in Suffolk is typical of what's happening. This is before the weather became so hot. This is how it looks now. Back in West London, this organic vegetable garden has been saved. It's been watered all summer. This is food that will be sold to support the charity.
Well, there is stuff we can do, but we really got to hold politicians to COP26 and the various decisions that are being made. We can see now that 40-degree heat a couple of weeks ago was unprecedented, but we've reached it now. We've had that 40-degree heat in Britain. So I think we can fully understand now that climate change is here and we've got to do the things that we said we're going to do.
Animals are also under pressure. This lake is normally a haven for birds and a metre deep, but today they're picking through the sludge for food. And this is one of several bats rescued in Northumberland, found confused and dehydrated. The National Trust will be exempt from any hosepipe bans, but it wants to use water carefully, and there'll never be enough to fight climate change. Unless something is done soon, this most British of landscapes will be changed forever. Well, today the Environment Secretary said that he had met with all of the bosses of the various water companies and described the supply as resilient, but spare a thought for the people living in the Buckinghamshire village of North End, who today found their reservoir run dry and so relying on Thames water tankers to come in and pump water back into the system. When the tankers are emptied, they have to rely on bottled water. Curiously, only half the village is affected here, and this has been happening every summer since 2018. Now, Thames Water said in a statement that this is a technical issue, they say, and they're working hard to resolve it. The people I spoke to today say after 4 years, they're not working hard enough.